Okay, I was just going to talk you through a couple tips on how to put a Sharon Wells lesson into Schoology. And you can see I already have a Skills 7 built in there. I'm going to go ahead and do my Basic Facts 7 into my course for that day. And typically, and I have the PDF that I downloaded from the Sharon Wells site open up right here at the same time. And basically just going to cut and paste the assignment in. First, I'll cut the title, make sure my title matches the page that I'm doing, and I'll go to Materials, Add Assessment. Okay, and I'm doing this from home, so my internet's a little bit slow, so it might take a little bit longer. I'm going to go ahead and paste the title right in there to the name. Category, I don't typically grade my basic facts, so I click Ungraded. And I'll click the correct date that I'm going to put it in for, which is going to be the 18th. And I don't enable it yet because sometimes I'll have kids get on there and try to work on the lessons ahead of time. So I'm going to go and create the lesson right there. And on my settings, some people don't like this. I'll turn that off right there. I always like to have the text-to-speech. That's one of the big advantages to putting these in a Schoology for the kids that use oral admin. Another thing I like to do is I always like to click yes so the students can see. As soon as they put the assignment in, it's going to give them their grade, and then they can see what they made mistakes on, and it's going to tell them which questions they got wrong. I typically only give them one chance on the math lessons because if they know they only have one chance, they're going to take their time and do a little bit better job. So I click Save. Next thing I'll go to is Add the questions. And the two main ones I basically use is going to be either multiple choice or fill in the blank text. So you can see that first question there, question number 1 in Basic Facts is a multiple choice question. So I'll click multiple choice, and then I go over to the assignment. I make sure I copy the number in, and basically I copy the whole thing right there, the whole question and the answer choices, and I copy that. And what I do is I go ahead and just paste the whole thing in there, or do Control V, and I tab once, that'll take me to the first answer choice, Control V, tab twice, takes me to the next answer choice, tab twice again, next answer choice, and tab twice, and that gets me to the last answer choice. And then basically I'll just go in and delete everything that I don't want in that blank. So for answer choice D, I'm going to delete everything except for D. And you can see on D, it gave me an exclamation point. I know that's a subtraction question. For whatever reason, Schoology doesn't like to copy over the subtraction. And for the subtraction symbol, I go into my tools right there, and I click on that, and it's going to bring up options of different characters I can put in there, and I click the subtraction. That way, when it reads a question, it'll say minus, it'll say D, 14 minus 7 equals 7. So going along, I'll go here behind C, I'll delete D there, and then I go on the other side of C and delete everything above it. And then I go to B, I delete everything C and D, and I delete the question and everything above it. And I go behind A, delete B and C, then I delete everything in front of A, and it's pretty quick. Okay, and then I go and delete the answer choices out of the question, and basically I'm done at that point. I go ahead and pick the one that is not part of the same fact family, which is answer choice D, and click Save, and I'm basically done on that. And I'll go on, continue on. I'm going to pause the video here while I do the rest of these, and then we'll talk about how to do the fill in the blank. Okay, I went ahead and put the rest of the multiple choice in, And I'm going to try showing you how to do some of the fill-in-the-blank text type questions. So you go and click fill-in-the-blank text and pull that up. And like I said, my internet's always running kind of slow, so it might take a second to come up. Okay, but while it's coming up, I'll go over here, and these are the questions I'm going to be putting in. I'm always like to put the question number there, so it's a little bit easier for the kids to see, make sure they're on track, make sure they answer the right questions. If you look up here, I'm going to highlight the multiplication symbol, and that's a Control-C to copy it. And that way I have the multiplication symbol, because I really have never figured out what key I can use, besides doing the X. But if it reads a question, it doesn't say times, where this, when it reads it, it'll say times. I just like that for my questions. Let's go back, and it looks like it came up. So I'm filling the blank, and that's question number 6. And I'm going to hit enter. And I'm just going to put the questions in there horizontally. It's the way I've seen it done before, and I kind of like it that way. My first question is 2. I like to put a space in between all the characters and the operations and the numbers. It just looks a little bit neater to me. So I'm going to Control V to get my multiplication symbol, space, and it's 6, space, equal, space, and underscore to give me a blank right there. And I'll just hit enter again. And my next question is 8 times 9. So that's 8 space, Control V to give me the multiplication symbol. 9 space, equal, space, and underscore gives me the blank. Hit enter. And my next question is 0 times 0. So it's 0 space, Control V to get my multiplication symbol. 0 space, equal, space, underscore gives me the blank. And I hit enter. 2 times 1 is my next question. So that's 2 space, Control V, space, 1 space, equal, space, and underscore gives me a blank to fill it in. Enter. Next question is 3 times 9. So that's 3 space, Control V, 9 space, equal, space, underscore gives me a blank. And my last question, enter. So 6 times 7, so that's 6 space, Control V, space, 7 space, equal space, underscore gives me a blank. Okay, now I go down here, this is where I put my answers in. 12, tab, 72, tab, 0, tab, 2, tab, 27, tab, and 42. And down here, to make my blanks a little bit smaller, it looks a little bit neater to me, is to just put the maximum amount of, this is how many characters is going to be, I can let them put in the answer. So I'm going to put 2, and that's going to make my blanks a little bit smaller. And also click partial credits, because if you don't put partial credit, if they get one of the questions wrong, it counts the whole thing wrong. This way it'll give them a percentage based on how many questions they get right. And save. And we've saved another question. And that's going to end the video, so I don't bore you with putting the rest of the questions in. But best of luck to you.